Hey, it's Myers. You guys all know Bobby Fuller, the Bobby Fuller 4, famous from I Fought the Law and the Law Won. And so Bobby Fuller uh, had a really fucking weird story behind him as far as. And Miriam at Norton Records wrote a great fucking book about it. Of basically a book about who killed Bobby Fuller. Uh, and it's deemed an unsolved mystery or what. Like story goes, Bobby Fuller was kind of famous. Like I don't think he reached his peak. I fought the law and the law won. And then he had a great song called "Let Her Dance," which was rise. And back then there was a lot of mafia involvement in the music industry. Mafia owned clubs, and then artists were talked into signing fucking shit deals or whatever, where the artist got a little bit of nothing, and the mob got it, and so the story goes like Bobby Fuller was being shaken down by the mob, and he went to meet him in the family Pontiac Bonneville. Now think about this: the guy shared a Bonneville with his brother and his mom. So I mean, obviously, if they're a one car family out of three people, they weren't making that fucking much money. That he couldn't really afford to be shaken down. You know, so when nowadays, I mean, fuck, I've had a vehicle of my own since I was 16. But anyways, so Bobby Fuller went to meet the mafia in the family Bonneville, and never came back. And a few days later, they found him beat to death on the front seat of the Bonneville, doused in gasoline. And the sheriff and the ME ruled it as a suicide. Well, who the fuck commits suicide by beating themselves to death and dousing them with gasoline? Like it never made sense. And but anyways, the song "Let Her Dance" has always set me on fire. It just here she comes with a brand new lover, dance with him like she don't even. And fucking great tune. And so anyways, Steve Bass from the Devil Dogs, I fucking love him. He's always right on with everything he does. And so he had a band back in the 90s called the Vikings that they cover that song. And so anyways, absolutely love the Devil Dogs and the Steve Bass. And when the Vikings come along, they put out one fucking record, and one record and 145, I believe, and or maybe a record and an EP. Anyways, "Let Her Dance" by Bobby Fuller 4, they end up covering on the Vikings record "Go Berserk." And there's some other great shit on here. There's covers from the Boys and the Accelerators. The Accelerators, just a fucking killer song. You know, so anyways, when the Vikings came out back in the 90s, like I said, only one record, not many people really picked up on what was going on here, but this fucker's killer. And Vikings-Go Berserk, you know, sorry about the fucking glare, hang on just a second. Is that better? Uh, but yeah, and then I end up Morton come over from Norway, and Steve come up from to Minneapolis, and he did like a little show with Travis Ramen was playing drums, and fantastic fucking show. I mean, there was maybe 50 of us at the show that night, but like I come up from Sioux City, Iowa, and Reverend Norb come over from Milwaukee. Love Norb. He's used to love his column in Maximum Rock and Roll, and Norb's one of those fucking weirdo, eccentric punk rock guys that he's just an institution. I absolutely love him. He's always on to something different, something new, and but at the same time, nothing ever changes. His obsession with kid cereals and varieties of chocolate milk or whatever. Here's the deal. Reverend Norb is the world's oldest teenager, and I love him for it. He's fantastic, and if you don't know Norb, you're missing out. And if you do know him, give him love. And but anyways, the Vikings show, man, that was fucking great. It was birthday party for Travis's wife, Georgia, and the Vikings were just amazing. They played all their hits. They played a few Devil Dogs tunes. They, but yeah, great band. You're not going to find this. This is old and completely out of print. Here's the B-side cover. God, man, I got a lot of glare this morning. There's your B-side. And then there's the A-side. And I believe this came out like on 3 different labels back in the day. I think there was pressing on Spanish label over in Europe, a Japanese label, and then Sympathy for the Record Industry did it here in America. And so anyways, if you're into killer punk and roll, if you're into just great fucking rock music, pick up the Vikings. And like I said, this is mostly all covers, and but really well done at covers. Totally worth picking up. The song I'm going to play you is their cover of an Accelerator song. Now I do love the original Accelerators. That 45 right now on Discogs is go for like $100 or whatever. 110 I think I saw for the Accelerators. But I personally believe the Vikings cover of it is better than the Accelerators original. So that's just my opinion. You can argue with me in the comments. I don't care. But speaking of the comments, if you like these videos, man, drop us a comment. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me what you want to see. What do you want me to review? But for this is a top 10 favorite fucking record of mine. Desert Island. If I never had anything else to listen to, I want to be able to listen to the Vikings. And because this is a fucking killer album. So, anyways, this is their cover of the Accelerators, and hope you dig it.